Once there was an explosion, a bang which gave birth to time and space. Once there was an explosion, a bang which set a planet spinning in that space. Once there was an explosion, a bang which gave rise to life as we know it. And then came the next explosion.
Rain, here it goes.
Leading up to its release, I didn't have much interest in Death Stranding. Everyone I talked to were ecstatic, and I didn't feel the same. I didn't think much of Kojima and his previous works, such as PT and the Metal Gear Solid games. Only recently did I experience the masterful series that was Metal Gear Solid. Upon playing them, I discovered a newfound admiration for Kojima, although I still wasn't interested in Death Stranding. Undoubtedly, the game would have an incredible story, but the gameplay we saw left a lot to be desired. The game was shrouded in mystery and ambiguity, yet I could not find it in me to grow excited for its release. With reviews being published before its release, the game proved to be divisive. I was almost certain that I wouldn't pick up the game. Thankfully, I did decide to pick it up and experience the game myself, and I was wrong to be skeptical.
Don't be so serious. Don't be so serious.
So the basic premise is that you are Sam Porter Bridges. As Kojima puts it, you are this character, or you become him, whatever he means. It is your responsibility to connect the different locations in America through the chiral network, eventually finding your sister called Amelie and bring her back home. Along your journey you encounter many allies and foes who will do their utmost to prevent you from reaching her. The story starts off with a lot of world building and introductions to key characters who play a pivotal role in Sam's quest. Whilst it might feel a little overwhelming at first with all the information flying at you, you pick it up quite easily. However, there are several moments of the game that might not be easy to understand, which is expected given Kojima's track record. The characters in this game are portrayed astonishingly well, thanks to the amazing cast. The only performance I might not enjoy as much as I do others is Fragile, Lea Seydoux' character. This is mostly due to the fact that she doesn't say things in how you expect her to say things, since English isn't her first language. However, she does a fantastic performance nonetheless, and I was always captivated each time she was on screen. Each character is designed to be compelling and unique, and they are great assets to Sam's adventure. I enjoyed learning all about them and growing attached to them. I felt as if I was connecting to these characters as Kojima had intended. One performance I didn't like in this game is this girl you have to find. Her voice actress is very obviously Japanese, and she doesn't do a good performance. I don't blame her because it's clear English isn't her first language, but it was still jarring. Which brings me on to the many NPCs Sam meets on his quest. It was enjoyable to interact with many of them, and also learn more about them. If you decide, you can do optional deliveries for them, which helps boost your connection with them. But more on that when I talk about the gameplay. Not all of the NPCs stood out, but there were a few unique personalities I encountered. Meeting all these people sold the feeling that you are connecting with them, and connecting them to each other across the country. There's only so much I can talk about the narrative without delving into spoilers, and I think this game is best experienced blind. One thing that really stands out with the gameplay is the sense of community. Throughout the game you activate terminals, which in turn activates the chiral network within an area. Once that occurs, you gain the ability to see structures built by other players, and you can contribute to them by upgrading them or build structures together such as roads. This sense of community is very wholesome, and it makes it feel like you're actively helping each other in your tasks. It really sells that feeling of connecting with other players. As you progress through the game, you unlock new structures to build and equipment to help you with certain things, such as fighting BTs or make carrying your cargo easier. You can even upgrade your equipment by doing side deliveries, which aren't required but are well worth it. For example, you can increase the max amount of cargo you can carry by getting a higher level exoskeleton. You are constantly unlocking new items to use and structures to build, which provides you with an array of possible routes you can take to overcome obstacles. In this game there are two enemy types, mules and BTs. Mules are human adversaries who will attempt to steal your cargo and kill you, but eventually you can easily avoid them. BTs are enemies you can't see for reasons the story will explain. At first you'll try to avoid them and shake them off your trail. Eventually you'll be able to take them down with various equipment, making it easier for you to traverse between BT infested areas. Death Stranding includes a lot of walking, and that might turn some people away. However, there's something about how it's handled in this game that makes it less boring than it seems. You get to take in the beautiful environments while maintaining your cargo and overcoming numerous hurdles. If you don't know how to manage your cargo accordingly, then you'll most likely run into trouble and have a bad time. That's where I see most complaints stemming from. The controls in this game feel so smooth and responsive, nothing ever felt overwhelming. It felt satisfying in a sense. Throughout the duration of the game, you'll be carrying a BB unit, basically a baby that lets you detect BTs easily. The BB's stress level will increase when Sam is in danger or under threat. Soothing it isn't as bad as it would seem, because all it consists of is rocking your controller. I've seen some critics complaining about this, because they don't like taking care of babies in games, which I find silly because it doesn't take that much effort and isn't that intrusive. You can even ignore the baby. There are a few gripes I have with this game. The worst in my opinion is the obnoxiously long scan animation once you enter BT territory. It was cool to see the first time, but it just gets annoying, and you really don't need that obvious of a warning every single time. Another issue of mine is the array of cutscenes doing miscellaneous activities. These are cutscenes like Sam taking a shower. Similarly to the scanner animation, it was cool to see the first few times, but it easily gets monotonous. Thankfully though, you can skip these scenes and it's not much of a hindrance. One other thing I really admire about this game is how the gameplay progression is tied into the narrative. There's a lot more gameplay features I could elaborate on, but I fear it would spoil the game, and like I said, this game is better experienced blind. Death Stranding undoubtedly possesses one of the best soundtracks I've heard in video games. It's up there with the likes of Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Persona 5, The Witcher 3, those games. Throughout the game you are treated with a number of songs that make your journey relaxing and enjoyable. There's an underlying mellow theme to the music, providing a soft techno feel. The team at Kojima Productions did an exceptional job at sprinkling these songs throughout the game at appropriate moments, emphasizing the importance of what's occurring in the narrative or in the gameplay. By far, one of my favourite tracks in the game is BB's theme, which plays during one of the most impactful moments of the game in my opinion. I especially love how the music is tied to the game's narrative. There's not much else to say about the soundtrack, except that it's amazing, it's unique. It contributes to Death Stranding's bizarre and unique identity. I loved playing Death Stranding. I was on the fence when I first played it, but I'm glad I gave it a chance. It's an incredibly unique game which provided a whole new experience, and as a result I am a firm believer in Hideo Kojima. I never thought I'd find a game about being a postman so fun. I never thought the soundtrack would have such a profound effect on me. I implore everyone watching this video to give this game a go, because you'll never know if you'll like it or not without playing it yourself. If you enjoyed this video and it helped you make a decision about whether or not you wanted to play this game, please consider subscribing and liking the video as it would help the channel out a lot. Thanks for watching guys.